Welcome back into our studios here in Houston. Today, very happy. Craig Ackerman and Brian Hollins with you. The Rockets get their first road win in this series, their second straight win in this series. The Lakers now lead this thing 3-2. And as I mentioned, Ryan, there will be a Game 6 on Friday night.
Listen, the Houston Rockets played winning basketball. You finished the game only 11 turnovers. That's magnificent. You knock down open shots, and you take what the defense gives you. The Los Angeles Lakers, they packed the paint. J.J. Redick wanted to double-team Alperen Sengun. He wanted to sit on Ime Thompson's drives. He wanted to help off the guys that were allegedly non-shooters and stepping up to the plate, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith. Ime Thompson knocks down 2 threes a night. I don't know if J.J. Redick had that in his bingo card, but hats off to the Rockets for not just getting that lead, but finishing much better down the stretch. It looks like they learned, not perfect, but learned from those Game 3 mistakes.
Now, the Rockets got off to a little bit of an uninspiring start. They were down by double figures in their first quarter, went red hot, white hot, blue hot, as we discussed in the regular season, Ryan, from 3 in the second quarter, led at halftime. The Rockets, in fact, led by as many as 13 points midway through the fourth quarter, and then it became a bit of a nail-biter. The Lakers went on an 11-1 run. They cut the Rockets' lead to just 3. And then Reed Sheppard, hat tip to Reed Sheppard, the 2, perhaps 3 biggest plays of the game. The bucket, the steal of LeBron, and then the dunk because of that steal of LeBron, and the Rockets never looked back.
Craig, those are monster plays. And again, here's the gift and a curse. It's tough. You don't want to have to learn lessons in the playoffs, but we're going to have to go back and look at that Game 3. Jabari probably went sleepless that night. Reed probably went sleepless. Ime Thompson should have came back and got the ball. All those guys stepped up and had major plays. And again, you put yourself as a player in those moments and say, how am I going to be better? How am I going to continue to improve? And those guys were lights out because they were a shot and is still away from being on the road and putting themselves in an extremely tough predicament. And Reed Sheppard stepped up with some major plays, Craig.
Of course, Ime Udoka also won a very important challenge late. It would have been the 6th foul on Tari Eason. He challenged it. Rockets won the challenge. Ultimately, it was a foul on Reeves. Tari made both free throws. Tari had a terrific game here. Rockets were up by 7 at that point. And again, the Rockets hang on and win. And there will be a Game 6 at Toyota Center on Friday night. It is going to be an incredible atmosphere as the Rockets try then to get the Lakers to a Game 7 where, of course, anything can happen as the Rockets try to make some history and become the first team in NBA history to rally from an 0-3 deficit. But again, 1 win at a time. They now have 2 in a row. Time now for our Fun Can't Lose, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And the three-point shooting early on in this series, Ryan, favored the Lakers, and that's why they jumped all over the Rockets. But as of late, that has flipped in Houston's favor, and it flipped again here tonight, especially in that second quarter as the Rockets rallied from a double-digit deficit and led at the break.
Craig, the first 2 games, the shooting was all L.A., and it was honestly the difference in the ball game. We stepped up and saw it. The Houston Rockets played enough defense. They couldn't score. Tonight, they hit those open shots. And again, the challenge and the growth from these young guys is taking what the defense gives you. Look at these shots. They are all wide open, good looks, where you see the Lakers overhelping. You see them adjusting to the dribble penetration of the Houston Rockets and knocking down, stepping up confidently and hitting these big, wide open shots. And Craig, by far, this has been the difference in the ball game. And I do not believe that J.J. Redick saw this coming. Obviously, as a coach, you play the percentages, and Houston knocked down those shots. And again, I think the 2 most inspiring ones, Finney-Smith getting out of his slump and knocking down those 2. Then everybody else is like, oh, my goodness.
Those were early second quarter, and you want to talk about a tone setter for a guy who's had a very difficult season. I'm so happy for him that he was able to step in and make those shots.
Elimination game. I'm a veteran. I've been here before against a former team. I know things aren't perfect. My leg's probably not 100%. Gutty performance there from Finney-Smith. And again, not having a soaking party, because you got to think down the stretch. There's a span. I'm not sure how many games he didn't play. You know, he was out the rotation. So monster plays there from him in the absence of Kevin Durant.
Yeah, the Rockets lost the three-point math early in this series. They're now winning the three-point math, and the Rockets, as a result, back back-to-back victories, very much still in this series. Again, still have to win to extend their season. But again, after trailing 0-3, it's now a 3-2 series lead in favor of the Lakers after the Rockets winning Game 4 in Houston and Game 5 tonight in Los Angeles. Here's Ime Udoka at the podium following this Game 5 victory.
Ime, first thoughts, what do you think led to the win tonight?
Really good defense. I mean, anytime you hold a team to under 100, but 93 specifically, great job there. Outside of 5 early turnovers, took care of the ball, got shots, and just a lot of great contributions from a lot of guys. The bench was great. Aaron, Josh, Dorian all coming in, contributing 18. Jabari is phenomenal all night. Reed making plays. I'm in as well. I think Alpi really controlled the game. To have 14, 9, and 8 on nine shot attempts, I think it was. Really controlled the game. Best passing out of the flood. He had some turnovers there, but overall controlling the game and just a lot of really good contributions from everybody.
What did you think of Reed's defense, particularly when he got isolated?
Good. I mean, the thing is, don't get just blown by. Make them go east-west for a minute. You can send a little bit of help, but in general, all night, I think all of our guys were great. Reed, we had him in coverage at time, and then we switched him late, and I think him and Alpi did a really good job with the switching late.
There was a lot working against y'all after those first 3 games. The way y'all lost Game 3 at the end, KD being out. What was the key to just kind of finding the belief necessary to win these last 2 games?
That we played good enough to win, obviously, that game. But the next game, like I said, I think we had 3 or 7 really good quarters in a row. The following 3 in Game 3, and then obviously Game 4 as well. And so to put that effort together overall gave us confidence. We know where we could be if we finish the game in the last 30 seconds, but doesn't take away from the positives that we had in those, for the most of the game. And so we have that to lean on and saw a lot of good things that we did.
And one of your key messages after that Game 3 was grow up, right? To your guys. How much have you kind of seen them grow up in these last 2 games?
Yeah, big-time performances by everybody, across the board. And you're starting this really young lineup, and they are somewhat battle-tested now. Reed going through it for the first time. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't grow up to that extent because of age or whatever. It's just show growth in certain moments and progress in certain moments. And obviously in the game situation where you turn the ball over twice and foul the shooter and some of those things, you want to show growth. And I think we did that tonight when they trapped late, handled it with poise, got the shots we wanted, and made our free throws.
Ime, you mentioned that last sequence. It kind of lined up exactly the same. I think it was 7-point lead, 30 seconds left. Last time it was 6-point, 30 seconds left. They did the same trap. Did anybody click in? Did that run through your mind that, this is about the same situation as we had in Game 3?
No, I knew that, but our guys are, just obviously taking care of the ball, find the opening, and get into our outlets. And so I think the spacing was good. They moved the ball, stayed confident and aggressive, and we had opportunities. We took it.
Jabari seemed to command the game from start to finish. What did you like just about his overall night?
Yeah, just everywhere on the court in every situation, passing, rebounding, defending. His versatility is always a plus for us, but I think he just had a really good overall game, and that's what everybody kind of said. Gave him a big shout-out in there for how he controlled the game, aggressive on offense, versatility on defense, and couldn't have done it without him, obviously.
This team is known for hustle plays, and I know that's a big part of your identity. What did you like about just the constant effort and hustle plays tonight?
Yeah, that was a mantra of ours coming into the series. It was let's win the 50-50 battle, win the possession battle, offensive rebounds, turnovers, and loose balls. And felt like they were the aggressor and out hustling us in the first few games. But you see more guys getting on the floor, more guys pressuring full court, and I think that is starting to wear them down a little bit. And we saw the success and the recipe that had last game.
With about 90 seconds left, you pulled Ahmed and Reed off to the side during some free throws to tell them something. What did you tell them, and how do you feel like they responded, controlling the game as point guards down the stretch?
That was the message. These last 90, the ball is going to be in your guys' hands. Control it. Take care of the ball, but also be vocal, be dominant, and go get the ball. And so I wanted those two to know that they got control of the game at that point. And I think they did a great job. Obviously, the traps were coming. They took care of the ball. Like I said, our spacing was good, and they closed it out with making the right decision.
Luke Kennard was such a big factor earlier in the series, and tonight, 31 minutes, 1 point.
Yeah.
How big was it stopping him tonight?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, him and Marcus really impacted the series early, the first 2 games, and Marcus has done a bunch of not just scoring, but how he impacts the game overall. with Reeves coming back, it seemed like because of what we did early, they went to Reeves a little bit more. But focal point after game 2 was really let's try to take Kennard out of the series. He's too comfortable early. It's tough when you got 3 guys scoring 20-plus points, and we felt he was getting a little bit too comfortable. And so Ime and Josh and everybody that's guarded him done a great job. And now they have Reeves back there, so it's a little bit different with the fouls that he can draw and the shooting ability. But one by one, you got to take guys out. And I think outside of James and Reeves getting it going, we did a really good job on Kennard, and Marcus Smart had 8 early points, 2 threes, and 2 free throws, and finished with 11. So we did a much better job on those 2.
You mentioned this a little bit, but have you been impressed by how they responded? The team has responded to your challenge after being down, and you're telling them to grow up.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's particularly about that. In general, we have a resilient group that plays hard and is very competitive on every night. Rarely do we get blown out. If a deficit, we fight back. We might have lost some leads, but that's kind of our DNA. And so that part I wasn't worried about. We had a hard-fought series last year. We went down 3-1 and got to Game 7, so we know we're going to battle. We saw a lot of things we could have done in the first few games, specifically shooting the ball a little bit better. And we've been in different shape, and then obviously finishing that game, we've been in different shape. But there were a lot of positives to look at where we dominate offensive board, dominate transition, win the possession battle. We're getting 20-plus more shots, just shooting a low percentage. We knew if that worm turned a little bit, we'd be in good shape.
And there was that one key moment late where LeBron goes down to make the layup to cut it to 3, and you kind of scream at Reed to go get the ball. And Reed gets it, steps up and hits the midi, and then gets a steal in the layup. What kind of stood out to you about that moment?
Yeah, he was demonstrative. Him and Amen were kind of trading turns between those 2, and how they defend one guy is different than the other. And I know a little more conventional on Reed, and he can get to his spots as long as he sets up and creates a little separation, and then Alfie sets a good screen. He can get to his rise up or the pocket will open. And so love the fact that he got the ball, handled the pressure. Obviously made a big shot, but just want those guys to be comfortable under the pressure and getting the ball and dictating what we get.
You talked about Alfie versus the doubles. I want to say 3 turnovers in the first quarter and just 2 or 3 after that. Yeah. What was he doing, especially after the first couple games where it seems like he was rushing against those doubles? What looked different tonight?
Facing up, seeing the crowd, still catching a little further out than we'd like, but he baited him, got the backdoor dunk for Tari. I think just the face up, and it's not about Alfie only. Guys leaving on an island. You got to get to our space and get to our slashes quicker. And once we do that, we know we have numbers on the backside and just got to deliver the ball. Thank you.